While it might not be the best new Pokemon in Generation 9, one of my personal favorite new Pokemon, easily in the top 5, is none other than Bellibolt. Just a cute little frog. I mean, look at this little guy. It's so fucking adorable. Today we're going to try and make Bellibolt work again in Regulation F. Hopefully it'll work. If you guys enjoy and you want to see more Bellibolt gaming content, leave a like and subscribe. Shout out to Kurt for coming up with this idea, and make sure to check out Kurt. I'm actually timing this with a video he did on the second channel that should be going live today. Check that out as well. Kurt does a great job with those videos as well as on his own channel. I'll link Kurt down below. Why the fuck not? Kurt's a great guy and I love his content. But with that said, let's get into Kurt's idea. So Kurt wanted to see Bellibolt, and now there's one partner for Bellibolt that always is like a really good pick for it, being none other than Oranguru. Now, I won't act like Oranguru is the best Trick Room setter in Regulation F. It's not really that good in this format, in my opinion, but I do think it's an incredible partner with Bellibolt. With Telepathy, it does take advantage of one of Bellibolt's best moves, Parabolic Charge, allowing you to get a complete immunity while still being able to set Trick Room, which is pretty nice. A lot of other Trick Room setters do have to worry about taking the Parabolic Charge from Bellibolt, and Oranguru not only can avoid it, but it can also just pop a weakness policy thanks to Bulldoze, and it can also instruct Bellibolt, so it can make sure that it's getting Parabolic yet again. This turns into essentially infinite health machine for Bellibolt, and it's a really nice duo. And in my opinion, if you're going to use Bellibolt, it's either the Assault Vest set, which I'm not personally as huge on, but I do want to try it one day because I always go to this set in particular on the channel, or it's the Weakness Policy set. And we're going to be going with Weakness Policy Bellibolt in case you couldn't tell. But the Oranguru has Tera Grass. This is mostly to get around like a Mungus, for example, if it's going to go for things like Spore. And we have the Mental Herb to get around any sort of Prankster taunt from things like Tornadus and other taunt users in general that have the Prankster ability. So this should hopefully be a pretty good Trick Room partner, especially with our Bellibolt, which I've already won over most of the set for, but it is going to be a Tera Electric Weakness Policy set. Essentially, we're leaning into Parabolic Charge for instant recovery. We have Muddy Water for the ground types that are not named Gastrodon. If we fight a Gastrodon today, I'd be flabbergasted, but we have actually really good counterplay to it later on. And then we have Thunderbolt as just a nice solo target move in case I need the extra damage rather than the recovery. The special attack hits are a nice special attack bump at 165. The HP is just maxed out, and then we have the rest in Phys Def because a lot of the format just skews physically, and same as Bellibolt's weaknesses. Moving on, this wouldn't be a Trick Room team without a Torkoal, and we're just going to go with the standard Charcoal Terrifier Torkoal with Eruption, Heat Wave, Earth Power, and Protect. Torkoal is going to be great at clearing through things like a Mungus that would otherwise give Trick Room a huge issue. The only other Pokemon that can really do it is Hatterene, but I do have another team planned for Hatterene that I built in this same batch of teams, so I wanted to try and space it out from the Bellibolt. But overall, this proves to be a very nightmarish option for Trick Room, and it's great at clearing through a lot of things that I will be needing cleared for later Pokemon. Especially grass types, which really benefits one of our next two Pokemon being none other than Ursaluna-Bloodmoon. With the Tera Ghost typing, we actually have Bloodmoon, Protect, Hyper Voice, and Earth Power. And I'm going to hit my special attack bump here yet again. With the HP and Spidef, I forget what this is. Oh, right. So the HP, actually, this is a remnant because I did have a Life Orb on this initially, but I did swap it out for Safety Goggles because I was having a really big time with the Amoonguss not really being a fun matchup. So I threw Safety Goggles on Bloodmoon. I felt like that was a really nice aggressive way to beat it with the Bloodmoon move. And the HP is actually a remnant from the Life Orb set, with the rest going to Spidef because on Bloodmoon, its special defense is so much weaker than its physical defense. You could definitely max out the HP. You could do a different investment, I'm sure, but that was the particular reason why I had these numbers in here. It was for the special attack bump and then the Life Orb HP number at 209 and the rest into Spidef. But Tera Ghost is really nice, though. It's a nice way to get around things like Fake Out, as well as Close Combat Iron Hands and many other fighting types in Trick Room speed tiers. Since Ursaluna is just outpacing most of them naturally with its 52 base speed, I figured this would be a nice way to try and give it a little bit more leg room to work in Trick Room. And it helps a lot. I mean, a lot of the Pokemon that would go for their stabs into Bloodmoon for super effective now have this become neutral or resisted, and it's a nice defensive typing overall here. Moving on, we do have none other than Rillaboom, which is going to be a great Fake Out user. I found myself almost every time leading off with Oranguru Rillaboom here, as it's a really nice way to ensure Trick Room as smoothly as possible. Even if I can't go for Fake Out necessarily, I still have Grassy Glide and Woodhammer, which are nice options to turn Rillaboom into a good trade Pokemon, and I have U-Turn to pivot out into my Bellibolt, Torkoal, or Bloodmoon as a really good win con here. The speed is going to creep things like Adamant Tyranitar, which is nice because I want to hit them pre-Trick Room. And then I have Grassy Glide for when Trick Room goes up. And I have my attack bump at 187, which is going to be good. And the rest is going to go into bulk. Overall, this Assault Vest Rillaboom should be really nice. And this is a great way to break through bulky waters, which should benefit our final Pokemon being none other than Primarina. Now we have a Tera Grass typing, mostly to get around Grassy Glide, And with the Hyper Voice, we're going to be able to use that with Throat Spray and Liquid Voice to get a nice stab water type Hyper Voice that will also give us a +1 boost thanks to our item. We're going to use Dazzling Gleam and Moonblast as just other offensive tools here, and we're going to go with the Quiet Nature to be as slow as possible in Trick Room, as this is a little bit on the faster end, but the dual typing and having 2 different spread moves for it that are not going to harm my own side of the field will be so useful that base 60 speed still can kind of justify itself. The team is going to be on here as well as in the description below in case you guys want to try it yourself. And with that said, let's see if we can make Bellibolt work today. All right, we're here using Bellibolt today. Now, as of the time of recording this, actually, currently, literally within 1 vote, Bellibolt ended up winning supremacy over the Trapinch, Squawkabilly, and Bellibolt vote. So whoever that Bellibolt voter was, I want you to know I recorded immediately after that 98th vote. So if you're watching this 98th voter, congratulations, you decided today's video. But yeah, we're using Bellibolt though. Shoutouts to all of the Bellibolt requesters. I had a lot of people want the Bellibolt, but specifically Kurt gave me this one, so I had to do it. Kurt gets priority. He's the editor. Not for this channel, but for actually this is going up on a Saturday, so we'll have another video on the second channel. Funny enough, same day of this, so I can plug that. So thank you for giving me the second channel plug, Kurt, and thank you to the 90th voter as well for that. But yeah, we're fighting a very interesting team. This might be the game that puts us into Master Ball. Funny enough, we're actually 1 game away. I think that my lead here, objectively speaking, is probably going to be Rillaboom and Oranguru. It's actually been my lead against most of these teams. I think Bellibolt probably is a decent option as a third mon. I feel like Bellibolt isn't terrible here. I mean, I know they have Amoonguss, but that's really it. Like, I feel like Bellibolt and then Bloodmoon is probably like a really safe bet. The Bloodmoon especially should really be able to massacre through that Amoonguss. And then overall, I mean, I feel like the Rillaboom also gives us like a nice priority option. It's a good pivot into this team too. I think that we have some nice options for my opponent with this. Let me pull up the team on the side just to be safe. Yeah, we have U-turn. Okay, I forgot if I ditched U-turn or not. This is like one of the few teams where I feel like U-turn is just the objective better call here. So I wanted to really make sure I had it. But yeah, no, I think realistically, Rillaboom Bloodmoon just kind of kicks ass, and Bellibolt should be a nice option as well with this. They're gonna go with Cobalion and Entei. Like, Cobalion and Entei is interesting. I can probably just fake out into the Cobalion spot before they get off of coaching or anything. If they're gonna go for Quick Guard, that's fine. It's kind of negligent. And then meanwhile, their Entei, I don't think will kill my Oranguru. We're gonna kind of hope it doesn't kill my Oranguru. Even if it's banded, I gotta hope it doesn't kill the Oranguru. And then even if they switch out into something else like Chien-Pao, for example, it's a broken focus hash right there. So there's a lot of merit in going for the fake out right into the Cobalion this turn. So perfect. Okay, fake out was off. My opponent is probably going to, oh, they're going to be Covert Cloak. That's interesting because I know for a fact that Mon does not get inner focus. And they're going to Sacred Fire into my Oranguru. That's fine because that doesn't kill. They're going to burn, but it doesn't kill, and that's the important thing here. So this is all very good. We get Trick Room up. That's great. Now, this is a little bit of a problem because I can't immediately proc my weakness policy here. However, I do need to pivot here, which isn't the best situation to be in, because my opponent will probably not let me pivot, unfortunately. We're going to go for the Woodhammer right into the Entei probably, and then I'm going to go for a Protect here. And I kind of just need to hope that my opponent kills my Rillaboom, even though I don't think they will. Because I feel like if you see this comp, you kind of know how to play. Oh shit, okay, never mind. The Mon turned because I was attacking. Oh, that actually does a lot of damage. Okay, maybe we could take out the Entei, unironically. That might be a play that we have. They're going to Sacred Fire through? Okay, bet. I hope they body press into my Rillaboom though, because that would be a very easy way to knock out my Rillaboom. But, okay, perfect. Yeah, they body press. All right, so I might be able to at least trade, which could be kind of decent here. I can't lie. I think I can actually get into a position where I can kill through this Entei, which would be kind of decent, actually. Like a Woodhammer with Tera Grass could actually maybe ask for that, which is decent because, I mean, actually, does it really matter? I'm just going to go for it anyway, because even if I don't proc weakness policy, honestly, I'm probably okay with this. And then I'm going to go for an Instruct here into the Rillaboom and just really nail through that Entei, just to be safe. They're going to switch it out. That's fine. What mon are they going to go into, though, is the question. Because I don't think that we'll drop just a Woodhammer. Okay, they're going to go into Amoonguss. So we're going to go for the Woodhammer twice into Amoonguss now, which isn't the best, but it's free damage, so I'll take it. And then meanwhile, the Oranguru will probably, unfortunately, end up dying to what is probably going to end up being a body press from Cobalion. But I'm kind of okay with it, because again, it's free chip on the Amoonguss, and the Bloodmoon can muscle past that very confidently. So I'm not too concerned here. Okay, so Oranguru does die, and unfortunately we keep Rillaboom on the field, but it's not the worst. We can't get Spored, obviously, with the Rillaboom. And then, meanwhile, I'll have Bloodmoon in the back as well. They can just Earth Power through the Cobalion this turn. So that should actually be pretty decent. I feel like there's a good chance that Amoonguss probably goes for a Protect this turn. And I can just take advantage of this and go for Earth Power plus Woodhammer. And just really lean into the damage on the Cobalion. I could also Tera Ghost, actually. Tera Ghost Hyper Voice actually feels like a much better play. Yeah, I'm going to Tera Ghost Hyper Voice. I don't really need to take out Cobalion immediately. And I don't think they'll predict around with a Wide Guard. And this should catch it in case if Amoonguss doesn't go for something like, if, for example, it maybe goes for a Palm Puff, either into Cobalion or into my Rillaboom. So this at least gets me a not passive turn into that Pokemon. And yeah, overall, I mean, the Ursaluna should kind of just wall through everything that they want to go for at this point. Because they're definitely Body Pressing, they're definitely Iron Defense. They probably have Wide Guard, but I don't think they click it this turn. And they probably have... I mean, they probably have, like, Snarl or, like, Coaching. Yeah, I feel like Coaching is probably the play. Spore, okay, perfect. Right into Bloodmoon. Thankfully, we have the safety goggles. I fought this Mon so many times in practice, and I kept losing to it. And this was kind of my necessary adaptation to beat the Mon, so I'll take it. They're going to be Citrus Berry. That's perfectly fine. I know this Woodhammer won't do a ton of damage to Cobalion, but it is at least Chip. And yeah, I mean, that's not bad. I can take this out pretty confidently with my next set of Pokemon, so I'm okay with that. They'll go for Body Press and take out my Rillaboom. That is perfect. That is really genuinely perfect. So we're going to bring in the Bellibolt now. The Bolt will be able to do some decent damage here. And then I can kind of Parabolic. Unfortunately, I can't keep my Tera Ghost now. I thought they might have Body Pressed into my Ursaluna, but it is what it is. Thankfully, they will wall it at least, so we're kind of okay with that. We have one more turn of Trick Room. I'm going to go for a Protect here. And then I'm going to go for an Earth Power right into the Cobalion. I think there's a good chance Amoonguss either switches here or it goes for a Protect. And I cannot really let that thing avoid my Bloodmoon. I need to time that very carefully. So Bellibolt will get a Protect off. That means I didn't click it with Amoonguss, which is definitely interesting. I feel like that just means they're willing to let it go down here. So they're going to actually go for a Spore here, probably into my Bellibolt. Yep, into my Bellibolt. Okay. Fuck, I could have really gotten off some good damage there. Missed opportunity, but it is what it is. I can still definitely make this work. We're going to go for the Earth Power plus... Well, actually, I'll go for a Thunderbolt plus a Bloodmoon. The Bloodmoon will be into the Amoonguss spot. Actually, I could go for Thunderbolt plus... Thunderbolt and Cobalion plus Hyper Voice. Could be interesting. I could also just Thunderbolt plus Earth Power into that. Yeah, I'm going to just target the... I'm going to just target the Cobalion. I'll go for the Thunderbolt for sure. And then I'm actually going to go for Bloodmoon. I do need to go for Bloodmoon into the Amoonguss because I can Protect on the following turn and at least punish. They'll Body Press my Bellibolt. That's fine. This Thunderbolt will deal a ton of damage to Cobalion. And we'll be able to pick off both Pokemon, thankfully. So that's pretty huge. Meanwhile, I'll also go unpunished on my Bellibolt because they went for this play that kind of just feeds me the Cobalion and Amoonguss for no reason. So we'll definitely take that. That's actually a really decent position for us. I can proceed. Oh my goodness, they just barely take that. What the fuck? What kind of damage roll is that? Holy shit. Okay, well, I might actually be kind of screwed here now. But I can potentially stall through Spore. They're going to definitely target my Bloodmoon. And I can potentially take advantage of that, but I'm not too sure. I'd probably need a dual Protect, I feel like. I just hope they don't go into Entei. Entei would kind of be a problem. They're going to go into Pow. Okay. Pow isn't the worst because I could probably, in theory, actually just go for Parabolic here. And then Parabolic plus Protect should be decent, especially if I can get some Wake-Ups right. Ideally, I think I just need to click Protect twice and then just hope that I can get a second turn Wake-Up. Because that would actually get me a decent position. Assuming that, again, they're going to disrespect the Bellibolt and go for the Bloodmoon because it's not asleep. That would kind of be my way around this, in all honesty. Because at that point, I can focus on avoiding Sucker Punch, which is the big deal. I don't think they'll click Ice Move into Bloodmoon because why? Oh, they're going to click Ice Moon into... Ooh. Okay, that's not good. I really thought they would try and punish the... Well, not punish. No, never mind. To be fair, I guess the Protect there is pretty free. I should have went for a Protect on the next turn, if anything. Okay, yeah. Now they're going to revive a potentially broken Focus Sash if I had went for that play. Okay, my play is always going for Hyper Voice here. They're going to Sucker Punch, which is kind of unfortunate. I've now given them a very free opportunity to Sucker Punch when I could have maybe tried to Protect around it, if anything, on a following turn. But yeah, no, this is kind of unfortunate. It is what it is. Realistically, this was kind of a rough matchup. Amoonguss always is for Trick Room. Even with the safety goggles and even with like Terra Grass on the Oranguru, it's never going to be a pretty matchup for Amoonguss. So we'll have to take that. Oh, they have Lash Out anyway. That's actually really good prep. Unfortunately, like, it's just going to kind of eviscerate me. Yeah, and they're going to take that very comfortably with the Chien-Pao. Okay. A little unfortunate. I could have maybe played it like a Hyper Voice turn, or really, I had a lot of options in my opinion to have potentially beat the Amoonguss, and I never really took them. So it is what it is. They're going to definitely beat us though, and yeah, I can't do a lot about this. We'll click Hyper Voice for sake of. Let them claim their kill. They play this very well. No real shame in that. And yeah, we'll try and get a win in game number 2. I still feel confident in the team. I think it can definitely do it. I think even still, this game was almost winnable, and we just didn't play it as best as we could have. The Lash Out Chien-Pao makes me believe a little bit less that we had an out, because I think in all honesty, that could have just kind of sealed it for us anyway. But yeah, I mean, we'll see you guys in game number 2 regardless though. All right, for this particular match, I actually feel very confident in the Bellibolt. I think especially since the only check here to Bellibolt would really be, I guess a Snarl Umbreon could be kind of decent, and then the Landorus, and I can Muddy Water through that. I actually feel very confident here. Inner Focus Umbreon in particular might be a little annoying, especially if it does have Taunt, but thankfully I feel like, again, the Rillaboom and Oranguru lead can put up enough offensive pressure here. I can probably go for a Fake Out and anything that could actually KO my Oranguru, which would most likely be Gambit. And then I could Protect and just kind of U-turn out with Rillaboom, bring in my... this will probably be a Torkoal game, I feel like. I mean, they don't have a native fire check on this team outside of Tera Water on the thing, which Tera Water Ogerpon just means that the Bellibolt will be able to do even more damage here, so I'm very okay with this. Realistically, this combination of 4 should be able to kind of blow past my opponent. I feel confident that the Bellibolt, if we're going to get a good game for it, in all honesty, it's going to happen in this particular match, because my opponent's team is actually so weak to it, it's kind of insane. So good luck and fun to my opponent. I think that realistically, the Rillaboom on lead should also, even if I can't get a good fake out opportunity, like if they lead off with Fluttermane plus Umbreon, for example, I could probably just Woodhammer and trade with that, because Woodhammer will be able to just deal so much damage that I'm kind of okay. So I'm curious what they'll lead off with. They're going to proceed to lead with Volcarona. Okay, Volcarona and Umbreon is crazy. I anticipated Umbreon would at least lead, but Volcarona with it is kind of insane. I think that this might even just serve as a nice turn to go for like a U-turn, in all honesty. Like a Trick Room U-turn play. They don't immediately kill us, and if they have Bug Buzz, I mean, I can't do a lot about that. I'm going to actually go for the Fake Out just to be safe. I'll go for Fake Out, yeah. I'm not going to risk the Bug Buzz. Frankly, on ladder, you never know what you're going to fight. And the Umbreon objectively cannot KO either of my Pokemon, so I'm kind of okay with this. And I can go for a Protect plus U-turn on the following turn. I'll bring in my Torkoal because it will chew through any Volcarona attack if they go for this spot. And then we'll be kind of okay. They're going to go for a Reflect. Reflect is insane, but I'm very here for it. I kind of thought this thing would go for like a Snarl or a Foul Play this turn, but or even a Taunt in all honesty, but I'm okay with that. We'll go for a Protect and Oranguru though. I do need to preserve this Pokemon for the Bellibolt, or honestly the Torkoal too, because Eruption is very free. Or even Heat Wave, if I have to Heat Wave. And then we'll proceed to go for a U-turn meanwhile. So Protect goes off here, and then we'll U-turn on the Umbreon just for some nice damage. As Umbreon will probably take like actual damage from this. If I had to guess, even with the Reflect, it's going to be like a 30% chance. Well, like a 30% damage. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but unless if they go for like a Snarl on this specific turn, predicting that I'm going to switch on a Special Mon, which isn't the most out there thing to be fair, most of my team is Special. But if they don't make that play, then I'm kind of set. And they would also need to, yeah, I was just about to say, they would also need to attack after my Rillaboom U-turn, which would mean that they have a lot of speed in their Umbreon. So I'm very fine with this. This sort of situation right here is why I have the speed in my Rillaboom, because it allows for the slower U-turns against other Trick Room Pokemon. And meanwhile, the Volcarona, even if it goes for a fire attack here, like a Heat Wave or like a Overheat, isn't going to deal a lot of damage to my Torkoal, despite setting up the Sun for it. So we're looking like we're in a pretty good position in all honesty, because even if Torkoal goes down here, I should at least be able to guarantee up an Eruption or a Heat Wave, plus another... Oh, they're going to go for Quiver. Oh, they are so fucked. Because I can now go for 2 Eruptions at this point and have nothing stopping me. Even if they go for like a Tera Dragon on Volcarona, I'm kind of okay with it because it reveals their Tera Dragon and I can just... I mean, it's a little bit annoying for this composition of Pokemon, I can't lie, but it's very workable for sure. So we'll go for the Eruption. I don't need to burn Tera Fire, actually, I'll probably go for Tera Fire. All my Teras are offensive, so I should lean into Torkoals here. It does mean that Bellibolt will get a little bit less of a chance to shine, but they have some like really good checks to Torkoal, so I'm not too concerned with just getting the damage that I can right now. Plus, this will help a lot, especially if they're Tera Dragon and Volk, just with really trying to apply pressure before that Mon gets out of hand. Because once I do inevitably lose the Oranguru this turn, I can bring in the... not the Oranguru, I can bring in the Bellibolt and go for like a Thunderbolt plus Eruption, and that should hopefully pick off anything that will actually have for health remaining. So Eruption will go off. This should deal a ton of damage since I did not Tera Dragon. I was really worried about that, I can't lie. But the Umbreon is nearly dead. The Volcarona has already taken a lot. And the Eruption will pick off both. Now, they're going to definitely go into Ogerpon if they brought it. And Ogerpon will be able to put up a ton of pressure against this. But on the bright side, though, even with the Tera Water, I can probably still get it to around half health after 2 Eruptions. So I can probably then just bring in Bellibolt and Rillaboom and Revenge. So we're looking pretty good in all honesty. I'm not really too concerned with my outcome. And I think that we're still setting up for a very nice endgame here. Now, my opponent will probably bring in, if I had to guess, Landorus plus Ogerpon as the last 2. Fluttermane isn't terrible, but I feel like that they wouldn't have brought Fluttermane to this matchup if they didn't lead it. So they're going to bring in Ogerpon. Yep, okay, Ogerpon makes sense here. And then what's the other one? Is it going to be Landorus? It's going to be Kingambit. Okay, Kingambit's fair too. Honestly, a really good option. That's probably why they were saving Tera then, is for the Ogerpon here. We'll just go for an Instruct here, and then Instruct the Torkoal Eruption. Because again, that should deal a ton of damage to my opponent. There's not really a lot that they can do around this. Because, I mean, it's 2 Tera Fire Sun boosted Eruptions. They have to Tera the Ogerpon unless they're like Tera Fire or Dragon Gambit. Which if they are, then that means they're losing the Ogerpon, which is so much better for me. Because Ogerpon could maybe, in theory, like, be annoying. Actually, never mind. It really doesn't matter in all honesty. Frankly, both Pokemon are fairly muscleable. Because even if Gambit's going to go for Tera, yeah, they're going to go for Tera and Gambit. And they're going to go for Tera Fairy. Okay, so then this isn't going to live. They'll go for Sucker Punch for sure. And Sucker Punch will be, like, their best metric around this. Probably, like, plus, yep, Spiky Shield. Okay, that makes sense. Because their goal is to now try and outstall Trick Room. And specifically, like, the Eruption with it. They'll Sucker Punch. Why the Oranguru? Because I feel like you always Sucker Punch the Torkoal there. Because Sucker Punching the Torkoal at least gives them an out to Eruption KOing the Kingambit. I'm curious why that failed, actually. Because I can't imagine that they consciously targeted Oranguru. Like, I know that... So I know that we're, like, not in Master Ball yet. So we could be fighting people who aren't playing the most optimal. But I can't imagine why the play would be to Sucker Punch the Oranguru here. I almost feel like that could have just been a weird Instruct interaction. Which, if that was, then that's actually very cool. But I can't imagine that that was intentional. I really can't. That had to have been a misclick. Either way, though, we've went through like 3 turns of Trick Room now. I think there's like 1 turn left, if I had to guess, which is great because that means that I can bring in the Bellibolt and finish this if Trick Room ends up getting double protected around. Yeah, 1 turn of Trick Room. Okay. I'm gonna go into the Bellibolt here because I kind of want the Bellibolt to do it. Yeah, we'll go for Bellibolt and I'll go for Protect. I kind of want the Bellibolt to pop. Battle was canceled. Oh no, they're kind of lame. Okay, well that's fine. I chose to not go for my more fun route. It is what it is. We'll still pop off in the next match, though. We're going to get the Bellibolt win con. All right, for our final game of the day, we're taking on a Palutena team. Definitely not a great Bellibolt matchup, but I think it can still do some work, especially with mostly Muddy Water and Thunderbolt, I think will be my outs here. But it can definitely do something. I don't think that they'll bring the Landorus, at least, which is good. I think they'll probably bring, like, top 3 plus Bolt. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Either way, though, my lead is definitely still the same lead I've been doing. Actually, it might not be the same lead. Or at the very least, I think I might need to play it a bit differently. Because I think I should be leading off with Rillaboom and Oranguru here. I could also lead off with Primarina. Actually, Primarina would be decent because they'll have to like really line Primarina down, which should actually open up a nice endgame for us. We'll go with Ursaluna and Bellibolt in my last 2. I think it actually does give me a lot of potential here by not bringing Rillaboom because it's not great in this matchup in all honesty. It's really not. But I feel like this is definitely a Tera Ghost / POW team. I don't think it's Stellar. If it's Stellar, then I kind of brought the wrong Mon because I should be bringing Rillaboom if it's Stellar. This is kind of one of those things where like it really just depends on my opponent's Tera. Because unfortunately, ladder is close sheet. So I can't just figure out the Tera. But if we had an in-game Tera preview, that would be something I could actually play around. So yeah, if they're Life Orb Stellar POW, I think I might just lose this. But I can probably just get a Trick Room up and then go for a nice Hyper Voice here. Because Hyper Voice will get some really serious damage off in that Entei. Even if it is Tera normal, that's still a really strong hit that I can manage. And again, I'm playing as if POW is Sash right now, so my goal should always just try to be to boost my Throat Spray. I don't think they'll dual target my Oranguru, and even if they do, I still have Bloodmoon in the back, and Bloodmoon plus Prim should be able to eviscerate this because they won't be able to kill both Mons on 2 hits. So they're going to Tera immediately. This is definitely going to be on the Entei. It's probably going to be Tera Grass or Normal. And either way, I'm fine. Tera Normal. Okay, perfect. So it's still a neutral hit. And on top of it as well, we'll still get a nice Throat Spray boost. If they go for E-Speed here, so be it. Not really too concerned with that. They're going to go for a Crash. Okay, so Crash will deal a lot, but it won't kill. Yeah, that's pretty pitiful damage, actually. then Sacred Fire. Yep, okay, so that will kill Oranguru, but again, we were kind of prepared for this. Thankfully, though, we'll get off a still really good hit with Primarina, and then their Life Orb Entei, which is even better in all honesty, because they'll wear themselves down. Okay, so Life Orb Entei does give some problems, though. They can now click E-Speed pretty freely, but I can go right into Bloodmoon, actually. Bloodmoon can probably Tera Ghost on this, and then just go for a Hyper Voice immediately. And that'll actually help a lot, because I don't think they'll Sacred Fire into us. I don't think they'll Dual Attack either. We'll go for Hyper Voice, though. And I'm going to, just in case, go for a Dazzling Gleam, because at least that will be able to pick off both Mons. And either way, if I only have one Pokemon left, I'm kind of, well, two Pokemon left, I'm kind of fine with it, because they'll, at best, only have 3. No matter what, though, I think a POW probably protects, but I can't really let the thing get a turn in case they do dual target me again. I think that either of these Pokemon realistically could be dual targeted this turn, and I'm kind of fine with just seeing what they do. They're either going to go for Sacred Fire and, like, crash into my Bloodmoon, or, yeah, E-Speed plus crash into my Prim. The E-Speed does, ooh, the crit. Okay, I don't know if that matters. I mean, we're not, like, super bulky, but, I mean, it's annoying because now I have to take an extra hit. But either way, I mean, again, this is why I do like the play that we made, because we're still counting for anything, really. And Hyper Voice is going to eviscerate both Pokemon, thankfully, so we're in a good spot. All right, so Entei is going to get killed as well, thankfully. And it does look like, oh my god, yeah, that crit definitely mattered. Even if it was Life Orb, actually, yeah, they guarantee never killed. That's so unfortunate. Because I think that Prim being alive could have been decent. If they had, like, realistically, there is a world where they just brought 2 counters to Prim, and I didn't get a lot out of that. But I thankfully, again, I don't think they brought the Landorus. I think it was probably, like, they're probably Ogerpon Bolt in backline. Yeah, okay, so they did bring Ogerpon. The last one's probably Raging Bolt, right? Probably Raging Bolt? It's Raging Bolt. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so Prim might not have been the most useful Pokemon. They realistically just Thunderclapped it anyway, or just even an Ivy Cudgel was pretty free there. So not a lot we can do around that, unfortunately. We're going to go for a Protect this turn, though, and I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt right into the Ogerpon. And I'm going to kind of hope that they just target the Bloodmoon, because, I mean, Bloodmoon is a really big threat to their team offensively. So I'm going to hope that Bellibolt can kind of just get a good chip on the Ogerpon here. They're going to Ivy Cudgel. Yep, okay, perfect. Right into the Bloodmoon. That is perfect. That is exactly what we want to see this turn. They're going to go for, like, a Thunderbolt into the Bloodmoon as well. Okay, perfect. That's huge, actually, because I might be able to go for things like Para on the Ogerpon. I could also just get a good hit. This will probably do, like, yeah, just under half. That makes a bit of sense. Okay, so I'm going to go for another Protect. I think that my play is always just a dual Protect here. And then we'll go for the Thunderbolt one more time, and then I'll attack next turn if we keep the Ursaluna alive. Unfortunate, it drops. Okay, that's fine. I mean, Ursaluna was going to die anyway to the dual target. It's probably going to die even to Ogerpon. Okay, so it doesn't die to Ogerpon. They're going to Thunderbolt into the Ursaluna. Yeah, okay, so it was dying anyway. It was dying anyway. It was always my best play, I guess, to go for that second attack. Well, the second Protect. And then to attack on the following turn. But their goal was always just to kill the Bellibolt. Well, the Ursaluna before the Bellibolt. So that makes sense. We do not get a Para, unfortunately. I'll go for Parabolic now, because Parabolic will kill the Ogerpon anyway. And it's at least a little bit of recovery, and then I can maybe Muddy Water dodge afterwards. I don't really have a great line, though, because, I mean, realistically, the Raging Bolt is just going to kind of take the hits really well. It's a great resist to my Bellibolt. And thankfully, though, I mean, Torkoal wasn't really going to deal a lot anyway, and they're going to kind of have to boost past if they're not going to click Draco here. So I'm okay with that to a degree. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not a great matchup. I mean, yeah, I just looked under my webcam where the HP bar is hiding. That did nothing. That did absolutely nothing. But I can't really go for Muddy Water until the Ogerpon is dead either, and they know that, which is why they probably click Spiky Shield that turn. Because their goal is just to try and chip this thing a little bit each time. They're going to definitely kill, though, with Draco plus Ivy Cudgel. I mean, yeah, that does way too much damage. Hell, if they go for Thunderbolt, they'll probably nearly kill anyway. They're going to go for Draco. Yeah, okay, that's game. So unfortunate. I mean, we couldn't get a win with Bellibolt today, but it is what it is. I think we still at least got some decent games in. And realistically, I mean, I think I could have played game 1 better into a situation where we went 2-1. So that's on me for not having done that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the team anyway. If you want to try it yourself, see if you could do better than I did today. Rental code will be in the beginning in the team builder section on screen, as well as in the description below. If you enjoyed and want to see more content like this, like and subscribe, and consider becoming a channel member. For just a couple dollars a month, you get some nice bonus content, and we'll have a video that should be going up within, I'm not going to put it up this weekend, but it'll probably go up next weekend, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It'll go up at some point while I'm on vacation, though, so make sure you guys check that out. Our current channel members are none other than Zeke, Mia, Rao Sakura, Obo, Endless Gadgets, Joshua K Ultra Player, and Incog M. So thank you guys very much for the extra support in the channel, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, peace out, guys.